Well, the transfer window is hotting up, and our reporter, as you can see, Mark McAdam, is here to run us through some of the big deals. Right, let's start with Darwin Nunez. And what's the latest here?
Yeah, it feels like a really significant day. There's all sorts of transfer activity happening with our Premier League sides. Let's start with Darwin Nunez, like you say, one of the hottest prospects in Portuguese football at the moment, just 22 years old, currently playing at Benfica as a forward. He has lit up the league this season, quite simply. 34 goals in 41 appearances for club and country, and like you say, valued at around 100 million euros. What do we know of his interest? We know that Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool are interested in him, but they are not the only Premier League side. As you can imagine, a player of his quality has a lot of admirers at the moment. Our understanding is that Liverpool have been watching him for some time. Of course, they would have faced him in the Champions League this season. He scored against them in the 3-1 victory and the 3-3 draw in the latter stages of the competition, so they do know what he's like. However, he is not the only name on Liverpool's list. They are looking to bring in a forward, and Nunez is certainly at the sharp end of that list. One thing that we do know is that Liverpool won't entertain any kind of a bidding war for the player. We know that Manchester United are also keen on signing him into Old Trafford as well, but Liverpool at the moment seem to be in the driving seat. I've just been speaking to some Portuguese journalists who have a little bit more information on this story as well, and they say this one is hotting up. There is still some way to go, but Liverpool very keen on the player. One final thing which I'd like to point out as well, he's a Uruguay international. One of the last Uruguay internationals that Liverpool signed, Luis Suarez. And we know the impact that he had when he joined them back in 2011. So could Nunez have a similar type of impact? Could he be a similar type of Liverpool icon? We'll have to wait and see. Very early days, but significant movements from Liverpool today.
OK, talking of Manchester United as well, I mean, is there potential here for Chelsea and Manchester United to find themselves in competition for a player? Tell us about Ibrahim Sangare.
Yeah, so 24-year-old, currently at PSV Eindhoven. He is a defensive midfielder. He's a big presence in the middle of the park and absolutely has all the qualities that could fill in those gaps at Manchester United. It's going to be fascinating to see how Erik ten Hag operates in this transfer window, his first as Manchester United manager. We know that they need to completely reassign the squad, sign new players, rejuvenate the team, get some freshness about things at Manchester United, and he is absolutely, Ibrahim Sangare, on the list for Erik ten Hag at the moment. But as we know, Chelsea are also chasing him as well, and a very similar situation at Chelsea. They've had the off-the-field issues now, but a new owner in place, and now for the shackles have been unleashed and they can go and sign players, whereas before, obviously, while they were sanctioned by the UK government, they couldn't do so. So finally, Chelsea can join the transfer table and look to strengthen as well. So we know that Manchester United and Chelsea are interested in Sangare. He's got his heart set on a move to the Premier League. He's desperate to play in the English top flight, and he's convinced that this summer he can get the dream move. We are told that there's a potential release clause which would be 35 million euros, so not hugely expensive, but he does still have 3 years left on his current PSV Eindhoven deal. So there is obviously still a lot of dialogue to happen between both Chelsea, Manchester United and PSV should this deal get some legs.
OK, we always expected Newcastle to be busy this window. Right, they are closing in on a player they know very well as well.
Well, yeah, you look at this one and it's more sensible business by Newcastle and Eddie Howe. They took Matt Targett on loan from Aston Villa in January. No obligation or option to buy in that deal. It was just a straight loan. But of course, they are in the driving seat to sign him permanently. Our sources are telling us that he is in the northeast today to go through the formalities of a medical. The deal, we believe, is to be around £12 million, which looks like really good value for Eddie Howe and Newcastle for a 26-year-old player that's got vast experience in the Premier League. Of course, he's part of that famous Southampton academy. I remember watching him when he was a youngster breaking into the first team, and his progression and development has been really strong over the years. And you just saw in the 16 Premier League appearances he made for Newcastle at the back end of the season, where they went from being in the bottom three to, at one stage, in the top 10 of the Premier League. Matt Targett was a huge part of that. And this looks like sensible business. This is a player they know. This is a player they understand. This is a player that's been effective for them. And at 12 million and at that age, feels like a good piece of business. So, yeah, medical today, and we're expecting that one to be confirmed perhaps next 24, 48 hours. So some more movement there for Eddie Howe.
Quite literally a transfer target.
Yes.
Yes, there we go. Mark, thank you very much indeed.